Hello. I guess first off, I'd like to just say a quick word about why I'm uploading these and what's going on with this. This isn't really geared towards accumulating a lot of views, but obviously views are welcome. Uh, if anybody can benefit from these aside from me, then great. But really, I would like to just begin uploading some training games and kind of review them for my own benefit and analyze my thinking process and um, just improve my own performance as a chess player. And this will provide a little bit of accountability for that. Hopefully, some sort of regular structure uh, to my training regimen. So yeah, that's what this is all about. I appreciate anybody that does stop in and watch this. Thank you very much. So yeah, I'm gonna just kind of analyze my own thoughts, talk out some chess moves, and see how this goes. So this is unique. I mean, this might be book. I don't know. It doesn't really look like book. We've got this triangle wedge set up um, versus my Dutch. That move might have been a little bit sus, as the kids say, because I set myself up to take this long diagonal in the Leningrad. But he's already got this pretty solid fortification. Kind of got sidetracked talking instead of playing. Queen b3 just really aims to eyeball this b7 square. I've also really opened up my king and kind of weakened this diagonal here. So that's just a kind of a smart move. I'm going to keep that knight out. And the knight can still go here and kind of threaten these squares. What have I done? What have I done again? I suppose I have to go here now. Just block that queen out. Not really interested in kicking the knight back because then he's just going to retreat and come back to this square, centralize, have a little better position. So I've really kind of played poorly in the opening already. Just poor play. But that's okay. I can come back from this. I just noticed the rating difference. Not too much of an upside for winning this, but tremendous downside. Not tremendous, but significant downside for losing this game if I'm not careful. He doesn't really seem to know what his plans and thoughts are at this point. Taking a fair amount of time to plot this next move. He's blocked this dark square bishop in, so that's it's kind of a liability. He doesn't really have many options to develop this piece. It's going to be a problem piece for him for quite some time. His natural development is just, I mean, maybe that's a little premature because I just block. So maybe he just, develops his bishop, gets castle. That seems fairly reasonable. Seems like his plan should be to tuck his king away and blow up that center. Since I'm not going to get my traditional like Leningrad, not a traditional Leningrad etch. Oh, well, I just said that that was a bad move because I was just going to block it. You're going to allow me to fortify my center. It takes away this square from the knight's development, but very little downside on that. I'm not too worried. So you go there and then you just come back here. You force me to push a pawn. Really like to castle, get my king out of the center. That puts it in line with this queen though, and there could be some ideas of pushing, takes, because this pawn will be pinned. It will not be able to contribute to the defense of this square. Other ideas might be to develop queen c7 so that I can defend the b7 square, free up this bishop for movement. Does that have a downside? What's the problem with that move? It's not a typical developing square for the queen in the Dutch, but we're outside Dutch lines now, I believe. So, I mean, there's not really a threat. The queen can't be attacked from there. Am I ignoring any attack from white? If I go here, and he castles, and I just develop my knight. I don't want to do that because I need the bishop guarding that square. That's pretty crucial. Maybe I will have to kick this knight out. Okay, so I've got to make decisions here, and I've got to figure out what my plan is. Most of my pawns are on light squares. My light square bishop's going to be a problem piece. It's really essential that I guard this square right now. Maybe I could start rolling on the queen side, just push 4. So many ideas. I need to come up with candidate moves and just kind of calculate, do some raw calculation. So assessment. His dark square is bad, bishop's bad, my light square bishop is bad. My king is more vulnerable because of this diagonal. I've opened it up by pushing the pawn, but by pushing the pawn, I've gained extra control over the center. So some really strong central. Maybe this is a candidate. And I offer a queen trade. That way I'm not afraid of castling. I'm not, I'm just going to play some maneuvering strategic chess rather than sharp tactical play. Get the queens off the board. I think that's a good idea. I have this tendency to just kind of settle on a last minute assessment. And I need to avoid that. And I feel like that's what I just did there, is just make this, I saw this move and I settled on that immediately. I don't think it's a bad move though. I think it's a solid option. It's inviting a trade. I don't mind a trade. I have the black pieces. So I'm really trying to equalize from the get-go. Okay, he doesn't want a queen trade. No queen trade. Setting this up. It's extra support on the e4 square. That's 1, 2, 3 defenders on the e4 square now. I have 1, 2, 3 defenders also. So that's a level of equality, meaning he can think about pushing this. He can push e4 because he has 3 defenders. 2 of my defenders are pawns, though, and all of his are pieces. So scratch that thought entirely. He'd give up a piece for a pawn in that trade. So es no bueno. So now I can think about castling. I think that just seems reasonable. Get castled. We need to find a way to push this. We need some support for e5. Okay, threats takes. There's no. Is that a threat? That doesn't feel like a threat. I think I have to settle for kicking this knight out so that I'm not so worried about this square. The e6 square, I would love to plot my bishop right down there, but this knight's a problem. So I think I just need to force him to retreat that knight. And I'm not scared about him pushing the pawn. If he wants to ease the tension up, then I just retreat, and he still has no better control over this. Okay. Now I can come here. I want to shore up this weakness. Moving this pawn from the get-go was a weakening move, and that's just kind of the way the I'm almost moving without thinking. I have weakened my g6 pawn, and I need to do something about that. I can defend with the king. Then he does he have some sort of sacrifice 2 pawns for the piece? And he take, and I just take with a pawn. No, you can't do that. So if I go here, you take here. King takes. Lots of pressure on this pawn. But I'm looking at this move. I'm going to defend it with a king. Which is putting my king back on a targeted diagonal. So if he doesn't do anything crazy like sack on g6, I think I want to do my best to clog up, drop another piece in this diagonal, and really clog up the gears. This is kind of like, I mean, all this pushing around the king side is pretty typical in the Dutch. So it's not something I wasn't expecting or something that surprised me or anything like that. It's just kind of risky play. And when you play the Dutch, you accept the fact that you are going to sometimes have a worse position. Oh, f4. Okay. I mean, does that allow me to just kind of or this. Let's see if I can force him to get rid of that. There's no more F3 push to get my knight out of there. So that feels pretty tempting. If I come here, can he just got any tricks there? No. No tricks. I got a knight and a pawn blocking the battery. I mean, he can go absolutely crazy and keep pushing pawns. But this whole queen side over here is just doing nothing. You got occupying the center. Like he's got this really strong pawn center going on too, though. I have a lead in development. He hasn't really committed where his king's going to be yet, but I think I don't take if he develops the knight, I let him. I just maintain the tension. If he takes, I get to take back with a pawn, and center is really solid. This, with 3 pawns right there, that diagonal is never going to be worried ever again. So that doesn't worry me. If he develops the bishop, I mean, then I'll just put the question to this knight, see what it wants to do. Right, he takes, I take. Okay. So, I mean, ultimately, I'd like at least in the current position, would still like to retreat this bishop, trade off this knight. Maybe I redeploy my queen so that I can do it in that order. I can save the bishop. Okay, he moves it voluntarily. He moves the knight voluntarily out of its best possible square. Why? 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 7 minutes. I'm approaching 7 minutes. I got to keep an eye on the clock because I will just kind of lose track of time. Here and here is an idea now. Yeah, I need to move and not waste too much time thinking. I think that, I mean, it's an ugly looking structure, but there's lots going on. There's lots of tension here, here. This pawn's a bit of a question. I don't get that knight retreat. Why move your knight backwards? Redeploy it where? Here? Threatening here? You were already threatening it from here, and it's centrally located. This is just the better square for the knight. Why retreat it? Only thing I can wrap my head around is maybe to do this and offer a trade of knights and a pawn trading. He gets to take that. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in his head. So the knight's now challenging. Like, I'm not worried about him taking. If knight takes, get to fork, get to take back with a pawn and fork these 2 pieces. So if he's going to take, he's forced to take with the bishop. And I still take with the pawn. Give my rook some more scope. His other idea is to come here and attack the queen, which I already was thinking about moving my queen to c7 to hang out on this diagonal. But what else is he going to do with the knight? You know, it needed to be developed. I like the idea of retreating this bishop so that I can push this pawn if I want to. Maybe here was the better square. I should have talked that out before I did it. Here provides a little extra protection on here, and it's not clear that the rook wants to stay here anymore because this structure doesn't look like there's going to be pawn breaks anytime soon. I'm not pushing this f pawn forward. I may have been a little bit hasty going all the way back to b1 when c2 is a better square, or c7 and b8. Although, I mean, there might be some upside. I might be beating myself up for no reason. The rook can be developed here and just kind of exercise its muscles here on third rank. It blocks my bishop, but I don't know that rook here is a bad idea. It's an option. It's an option to keep in mind. Under the right circumstances, it might be a playable move. Now, let's see. My worst piece. My worst piece is, let's see. I mean, this bishop is still wasting away. Oh, why didn't I? I was threatening that. But then he could take. Okay. No. I'm freaking out too early because then he takes. I take. He wins a pawn too. There's no winning a pawn. That's just. Okay. Good. I am not crazy. I really like to push this now. It hangs this at the moment. So I need to do something about fixing that. But if I can push this and really threaten to soften this up, he has opened up this diagonal now. He has his own dreams of putting his bishop there, or maybe there. Yikes. I'm going to improve this knight. They really didn't have any hope there, any future there. The knight's not there to trade off anymore. If he goes back there, I mean, that's going to be a problem piece, but I can offer to trade it off from here. Instead, he's gearing up to develop a bishop and maybe castle queenside, which I kind of run into a lot when I'm playing down. People see the Dutch and this kingside storm, and they just kind of think, I'm going to get my king to the other side, which is a fair strategy. Absolutely fair. I do it myself sometimes. And then you go and just totally shock me. Totally redeem yourself. Just age myself there. It's a great movie, though. Great movie. Using greatness loosely there. Hmm. Okay. I had ideas of this. You no longer can kick here because that will fork the rook and king. Still have ideas of this because this is now defended. At least by, I mean, the knight's not coming in because I can swap it off. And if he trades here, I can go here and here, and this is a little bit softer now. I think I want to look. I mean, my king is nice. Oh, I am way down on time. I need to move my pieces under 4 minutes. Okay, keep it on the clock. There is this pawn that's hanging, but I'm threatening to do this and bust open the center. With his king stuck there in the middle of the board, I want to open this all up. I want to blow up the center because my king is nice and tucked away over here. So it's worth a pawn to me to blow up this center. With the queen on this file as well. I'm not sure that he wants to do that. The rook is coming here. I spend a lot of time justifying my moves after the fact, don't I? I should be calculating these variations before I play the move. That's how chess is supposed to be played. All right, I really don't understand why he did king e2. That just the bishop needed to be developed. Because what does this accomplish? Nothing. Allow your rook to come over somewhere? That's that king move. Wow. I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay, now you're attacking me here. Sure. All right. I'm coming back here. If I come here, yeah, I think that's the move. He comes here, and I just take it. I mean, this is hanging, but like I said, I like I like my scope on things too. Um, he's got to develop this bishop somewhere. I don't know where he's putting it, but he'd be smart to put it opposite mine. If he snaps this off now, then I just take it. Takes, takes, and it's all equal. Okay. Now if I take and he takes, he's got a double attack, so I can't afford to take back immediately. And my queen is undefended and hanging. So how about taking here first? Do I take here first? We're gonna push. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Swelling, come on. What am I moving? What's my move? Um, this opens up a discovery on the rook, but it gets blocked pretty easily. Abandons this. I feel like that's 2 minutes, 17 seconds. Okay. 17 seconds. He's going to take with the bishop. That's the logical move. Not threatening to take with a check. I think I'm coming in here. I think that's my move. Knight here. You know, attacking around the king. More pieces you get around the king, the better. Particularly if he moves his bishop off. He's not threatening to swap this off anymore. I'll have 2 knights around the king here. This stays impossible as long as this is on the board. So, getting a little closer on time. I appreciate that, fellow. Thank you very much. Take your time, think about your moves. Okay. So I think that I don't want to spend too much time on that because I'm down. I'm down 1 time. So you take with check. I'm forced to take back with something. Probably the rook. Probably going to take with a rook. Yeah. I want to take with the king and just allow a check for the funsies of it. Bishop there. Swap the bishops. And this pawn hangs. I'm down a pawn though. I guess I planned on winning a pawn back at some point. I really like the fact that his king is so exposed. Got, I mean, I'm down a pawn, but I like my chances. I like black in this position because he's lollygagged on development and now I trade, right? Swap off, I win back the piece. And he threatens to pin me, pins my piece with a rook move. I don't have good check. Maybe I get my rook in the game. I pull the square a little bit. Maybe ideas of queen over here also eyeing up that square. Just some way I can overwork that knight. This pawn would hang. If he brings a rook over, I can swap. He won't be able to trade to bring this rook over because this would hang. Would it hang? Would it hang? No, it wouldn't hang. It wouldn't hang because he has a rook on this file protecting that square. Hmm. It's a pretty equal game. 215 to 120. I'm up on time now. Forcing old boy to use a little clock. It's my play. Minute 40. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. This my play? No. No, he swaps. I want to pre-move that. Might be a little hasty. Okay. Now he does have this. Knights and queen versus knights and queen. It's up a pawn. Okay. Seems innocuous. Now I got this square and this square along with this square. Gonna check. I'm gonna go back and take away his checks. Now I'm gonna check. He's gonna keep marching his pawn. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. What's my play? Think, Walling. I don't want to open stuff up. Do not want to open stuff up. He's got this square now too. Minute 10. Maybe I just tuck my king away and preemptively avoid the check. If he wants to push here, I mean, I can let him take. Check here. And this knight hangs. The king can't go here to defend the knight. You need to back up with the queen now. Or you need to move the knight. here. Nope. Now this pawn's weak, and good game. GG. Made me work for it. Got down to time pressure, and I did not play the opening very well. I just trade pieces here. Yeah. Do I? Comes here. I have a fork. He goes back. Check. Force him here. I could have forced the pieces off the board there. That was silly. I should have just... I'll do it one more time. Make him think I'm gonna repeat moves. Nope. Beat you with my knights, fellow. Did I just make a big boo-boo? No. Okay. I catch it. Do I catch it? Ooh, I might have just made a big boo-boo here. Takes... No, not here. Check. Okay, I don't have to take it. I can move the king. I'll just move the king over, defend this, take. And then if takes, takes. This is still defended. The king can come up, but the knights, yeah. Okay. Okay. Good game. Good game. And let's check out some analysis real quick. I just like to play back through and see. So, yeah, in the opening, obviously, it probably was better off going with a classical Dutch or a Stonewall Dutch, pushing here and just doing a symmetrical Stonewall structure, because I think that's kind of what he was aiming for. The Leningrad that I chose just kind of bites into this, and that's just silly. I should have thought more before I played that move. Okay, here. Yeah, here it wants me to play d5. Okay, that's what I did. Good. And bishop check. Block. That was a bad move on white's part. Queen trade. Thinks I had better options for me. Queen trade. Didn't like me kicking the knight either. Just push e5 immediately? Just push e5 immediately. What it takes. Here. Here. And here. Okay. The queen protects here. So maybe queen e2. Yeah. Queen e2 and knight takes c4. Okay. All right. I can see that. So I played pick the knight. Build my bishop. I didn't like that move for white. That move just seemed like you're inviting me to blow the center up. It didn't like my knight f6 line. Wants me to play c5 immediately. e5 immediately. While the bishop is still open. Okay. That move is just silly. Absolutely silly. Go from an equal game. Black has a +1 advantage just by that king move. I don't know what you were thinking doing that, but I have made similar errors myself, so I understand the frustration. Okay, knight a4 takes. I'm down a pawn, like, but it's still. I mean, black's got a 1.5, 1.6 advantage here. Just because of that terribly placed king. So I'm giving back my edge a little bit. It's still solid, it's still good, but down to a half a point from 1.6, giving back some of my edge. But still, it looks like, I mean, it's a natural play. That was an error. Error. I shouldn't have swapped. What should I do instead of swapping? I'm gonna have to spend some time studying this position because I liked liquidating. I thought that that was the right choice, and I don't really understand, looking at this position, the plans otherwise. So I'm gonna bookmark this position and come back and look at it. All right. Oh, we've gone back to an edge for white here. Just kind of squandered my whole edge, but I feel pretty strong in this spot. I don't. Yeah. Okay. All right, and from here on out, it's just curtains because it's curtains. He hangs the night. All right, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll post more of these in the near future.